The competition's there, and so maybe our added value, we know what we do in the classroom's good, and I think we got some outstanding online and face-to-face instructors at this university, but I think our added value could be maybe it comes out of things like this, because I don't think there are a lot of universities that are thinking this much about.
You talked about the lit review, even like retention, etc. I went and said, if you actually looked at, you can't just look at one classroom. So what did they do? They were like, we studied people across 5 classrooms. And they didn't look at any of the space. It's like there's a huge blind spot to the fact that, could we possibly expect anybody besides a teacher to be responsible for some of this community building? It's like it doesn't exist. And so that's really the summation of this, is I would propose to you that maybe it's not just the teacher's job or the student to go off into a Facebook and meet each other. Maybe some stuff needs to happen, outside of the classroom. At KU, I'm from Lawrence, I did computer science there. Yeah, I could go to a KU basketball game. Tell you what, that's community outside of the classroom. I did all sorts of things with people. I don't have that opportunity online. And I can't stand outside a classroom and chit-chat with somebody for 10 minutes before I walk into the classroom. It's amazing how much learning goes on 5 minutes after the class. You're like, can you believe that crazy thing our professor said, blah, 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 whether it's good or bad? It doesn't happen online. And those are other examples of outside the classroom if we start to create space for that. Anyway.
Yeah, and I know we all know how much work it is to do online classes. So I think if you think, if you're going to do these type of activities and we're going to push this at a department or university level, then I think it's okay to go back and look at your course and materials and say, maybe we don't really need to have a formal discussion about this. Maybe we should just get rid of that, or take that week off and do something else. I think we're at the point you got to be brave enough, and you have to do that out of necessity. So and doing things like this is a lot of fun to do stuff like this. Sure, it is.
A classroom activity, you could say, I'd drive into the brown bag discussion. Cut down. As an online student, I was doing endless. I have to do 3 submissions every week. Let me off some of that. You're having to read it all. Of course, you're all just cycling through it. I was like, how could they possibly be reading this novel that occurs every week? There's a lot of, I need to enter in 3 submissions, so it's 3 submissions of, that's a pretty great idea. About it like that. And then say, you know what, no submissions this week, go to the brown bag session. Go to that institutional thing out there, use some of what you've been learning here. You may not be able to capture it all, but it could be also a way to drive traffic to some of these outside organizations, You guys could party for a week.
Told Dan not to hold back.
And I did, if you can believe it.
Some resources. There's a good chapter in this Reether and Dempsey book about informal learning. 2 of the leaders in the country on pedagogy are in this room right now. Well, at least one of them, Dr. Everly. Pedagogy is self-directed learning. It's sort of a step above Malcolm Knowles and what we call andragogy. And then just to prove that he wasn't just pulling all this out of his rear, here's his literature that he went through. So, and we'll put this at the site so that if you want to go check out any of these resources, you're more than welcome to. And also the video's up too. Can we tie things up? I think you have evaluation forms for today's events. If you could fill those out and give them to somebody.